he won't be able to enter the Philippines. According to his passport's taken away. And by the way, his passport expires in a few months. Speaking of triple, double jeopardy, whatever, after all this is going on, his passport's going to be expiring because you have to put in for a new passport 5 months before it expires. And he ain't got that time to put it in because I think it's due in a couple of months. Mr. Isto says about a 37 IQ, and that's being generous. You might be right. You might be right. All kidding aside. He doesn't, I don't know, man. I know I just really hate repeating myself over and over again, but I'm sorry. I cannot help it. I'm so astounded. I'm so perplexed. I'm so amazed how one person could do so much damage to themselves. Best and brightest. I have a feeling Obama isn't going anywhere for a while. I really do think he will be locked up someplace for 5 or more years. Yeah, I have that feeling too. You might be accurate. No, he's not going to get 20 years, anything like that. No. Though he exaggerates things. I'm not going to get a life sentence. Well, 5 years could be a life sentence to him. He's not the healthiest person. He's obese. He probably has a high cholesterol level. His arteries are probably clogged. He's got lung problems. So all of a sudden, he's on the other side of the fence now because he said he quit smoking. Well, he's already done damage to his lungs, and plus he's also vaping. And vaping is not exactly a good thing for your lungs. So he's laughing. Well, Frank's still smoking. But I quit. Yeah, but he's been smoking since he was 8 years. He said it himself. I'm not making up the numbers here. Since he was 8 years old. Imagine 8-year-old kids smoking. You see that in the South a lot, actually. I made my way to a couple of southern states, and Alabama actually being one of them. And I never, the only time I got out off the bus, we had a rest stop, and I went to use a phone to call this chick over in Texas, Carol. Yeah. So I didn't spend time, but when I looked around there, I actually seen a couple little kids there past the bus station, and they were smoking cigarettes, and they were some African-American kids. That makes a difference, but they were smoking cigarettes. They couldn't have been more than 7, 8, 9 years old or something. I'm saying, what the fuck? He said he has a lawyer, but she wasn't paid yet. Well, his last lawyer is supposed to have been a she. He just, look, he's just throwing it out there and seeing if you're catching it. He's throwing the ball out there to see if you're going to catch it or not. Yeah. I love how Obama thinks the guards are his friends. They're not his friends. And I bet they all laugh. I'm sure they do in their own language all the time. They would like to see him out of there as much as he'd like to be out of there. But they don't have a choice. But that song, I become accustomed to your face. You can't believe anything he says, nothing, the best and brightest. No, there's not anything that comes out of his mouth that's believable. He's trying to incite people against me so he could feel strong and so he could feel like he has some self-worth and that people are actually behind him. But the truth is, nobody's really behind him. Maybe 1 or 2 people that have been plotting with him, and you could figure out who that might be. But he does not have, call it crowdfunding or whatever. He doesn't have a lot of people behind him. Let's put it that way. He's the most vile person I've ever dealt with. I've been on YouTube for, how long has it been, guys? 10 years? And I've encountered all kinds of people. Obviously, you know that. You know who they are. They were bad enough, but I've never seen anything. Even Peter Van Dever. He makes Peter Van Dever look like a choir boy. Peter Van Dever was smart enough to just pay his way out of there and get out, do a self-deport or whatever it was. He would have stayed any longer. Well, best and brightest. The day shift guards have it easy as Bummer sleeps all day long. Wait till next month when this heavy-duty weather comes in. Viking Sun says, are you doing a 2-year anniversary show soon? I should. Well, Popeye's going to do one. He's already said that. Mrs. Heminger said, I'm glad Crazy Eyes retired. Crazy Eyes he was annoying, wasn't he? He was one of these, thought he was one of these know-it-all people. Very narcissistic. There's no question about that, yeah. He's still out there. What do you think? He's gone? He goes under sock account names, man. Absolutely. He's never left. He was too involved with YouTube. You don't just get off YouTube after all that time you've been on. You will check in every now and then at worst or best, whatever you want to call it. He's out there. Don't kid yourself. No, it was a guy named Dave Phelps. Yeah. It was part of the hate crew with Alo DaVinta and Popeye and Roberto and some others. Viking Sun says, rotting in jail for 2 years. What a waste. Well, he did it all himself. And that's why I'm going to repeat again as often as I can. His entire situation was self-created. So he could bitch and whine all he wants, but yet, although he's not happy in a sense of being there, understandably, how is he helping himself when he continues to do his shows, his live streams? And you know what he puts on his live streams, right? I don't have to be redundant in exactly what he's saying, and you'll hear it. And again, well, I will be. Whoever got him into trouble in the first place, he's just rinsing and repeat, repeat and rinse and repeat. And it's not helping him at all, I can tell you that. But wait till his phone gets confiscated. Just wait and see. Wait and see when he has no communication except to get permission from the guard to order from Grab or something, or maybe permission to give a status update to his girlfriend or something like that. But they'll hold the phones or they'll use his phone, their phone. But those guards, if they don't cooperate, he's fucking their lives up. Yeah, try to take their jobs away from the guards. He's doing a good job of making them look really bad. If they lose their jobs, he's got 2 more enemies. When you take the fucking food out of their family's mouths, you wait and see what happens with that. Because there's been apparently, I don't know, a lot of participation with the guards, because how else would he get away with this? Okay? Even on New Year's Eve, he was partying with them. And he was drinking. And his girlfriend was there singing and dancing. The one that has the PTSD and she's highly depressed, can't get out of bed, and life is horrible. And I did this to her and did that to her and did this to who? Oh, well, what can I tell you? What up, you? I don't want to talk about Dave Phelps, please. He's irrelevant. If his phone and laptop are taken away, that would be epic. Well, that's what we're trying to do. And we are trying our hardest to make it happen, to make it finally happen. And boy, talk about the Lost Boys. That was a movie. That boy's going to be really lost. Because without that phone, that's his communication to the world. You want to talk about a man having a nervous breakdown, going crazy? Now, I'm not saying that in maybe a detention situation, not a prison, but a detention situation, that, a man's phone should be taken away from him. Normally. Okay. It's not a prison. However, it's according to what he's doing with that phone. That's the difference. That's why it's going to be taken away from him. It's all going to catch up. It's all going to catch up with him. Then he's going to really regret, on top of everything he's done so far, he's really going to regret that he came on with those 5 charges and continued to attack me in the way he has. I think my lawyer doesn't know all this information. They're very updated on everything. They will use this information against him, and wait till I testify. He's going to be in there for a while until they can work on this previous court order that was supposed to get him into a prison. It's a written, signed order from the Bareilly court judge, okay? I have a copy right here, not in front of me, but I have a copy here. And we're working on that because he's been so caustic and all the trouble he's been causing from his detention situation. It's building up to a head. Oh, it's already built up to a head, actually, but it's a matter of executing this plan. He's going to regret everything he's ever said to me, I guarantee you. He already regretted. Shit, getting close to 2 years. He's not a happy camper, I can tell you that. And I understand why, but who's to blame? He's pointing the finger at me, but let's be realistic about it. He wouldn't be in that situation, either or situation, both, if he didn't actually do what he did. It's as simple as that. Yeah, I know that. Ignite is Warren. I've always said that. Warthog says, you just made me run and do a IQ test. I'm sure it'll be higher than his. Be grateful, folks. If you got a few live brain cells in there, you're doing very well. He doesn't. Maybe he was kicked in the head too often. I have no idea, besides some of the other facts we have as to what happened with his childhood. He caught himself in a lie again. He was making a statement the other day. His last show or the show before it? No, it was one of the shows. The only people I care about, how is he saying on this? Is my son. Then he goes, my girlfriend. Well, he said something. There's only 3 people in the world that mean anything to him. And I'm trying to think of how he said this word for word, but I can't give you word for word. It's something like this. And if I was married, it was, if I was married, it would be my wife and her family. So he's talking about his son, his uncle. Oh, and his uncle. Oh, his uncle goes around killing people now. His uncle goes, it's him and his uncle. He's the guy that's 8 foot tall. His uncle does this and does that and does this. Everything about his uncle. But getting back to what I was saying, he said something like, which is proof right there, he's not married. Because he said, my wife, if I was married, and her family, be the only people that would matter to me. Something like, if you heard his, I don't want to repeat it. If you heard it, then you'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah, married my ass, yeah. Nobody believes Bummer is married. If his mouth's moving, yes, indeed. Stephen says Barry was getting upset by thinking how guys are going to try, to get the show. Oh, yeah, because he really elaborated on that. He's a jealous motherfucker, man. Oh, I can imagine his past, his jealousy. Oh, yeah. They were teasing him. Mr. MC Dockers. Who was this? Doc guy, MC Doc, or something like that. Oh, yeah. Now, which first of all is stupid because, look, Shaw's going to stick to me, this and that. Well, in a perfect world, I mean, that sounds so lovely. But if you're in jail and better yet, and then later kicked out of the country, are you going to let your life lag by as you're getting older and it's harder to find another man? No. If he's never able to see her again, why should she continue this so-called relationship? It wouldn't make any sense at all, but then none of this makes sense, does it? In his sick mind, that's what he thinks. No woman's going to hold on forever to a man. That's just common sense. There has to be a damn good reason to hold on to a man. She's never going to be able to come to the country to see him. He has to show financial responsibility. There's a whole plethora of things that he has to do, or she'd have to do to get to America. Immigration being tighter than a gnat's ass right now. in America. That ain't going to happen. So why don't we just basically get to the point? When he's in jail or get deported, it's over. They're never going to see each other again. Now, maybe if he had the money, which I don't think he's going to spend. Here's my theory. He doesn't have the money to spend to come to an Asian country and have her meet him there. She could definitely meet him in an Asian country. But do you honestly think he's going to spend his money to go make an expensive trip back to Asia once he's supported to see her? Are you kidding me? Out of sight, out of mind. He will move on. And so should she. If she had half a brain, and I think she has half a brain somewhere, I'm not going to knock her. She has to have a brain. Because I know she's smarter than he is. See, I'm complimenting her. I know she's smarter than he is. But then you wonder, how smart is she? I don't know. She's with him. Go figure. Let's see. Stefan says that he made up some story that I love these guys' stories. He made up some story that a tall, good-looking man wanted to talk to her, and she turned him down. Yeah, right, bummer. Oh, God. Does this guy vote in all the presidential elections? Anyway. The best and brightest says, laughed my ass off. He spent 30 minutes talking about why Shaw's loyal to him. Yeah, I heard that part. I didn't hear it all, but I recorded some of the shit on it. It's on my uploads. And one of them is uploaded now. The other one is right behind it. He spent 30 minutes talking about why Shaw is loyal to him. Notice he forgot to mention them being married as a reason, LOL. Exactly. Hector says, hello, Hector. Frank Morris. Hello, Frank Morris. Live as, as juxtaposed against the two uploads I just did was because the new information that I have coming in is that my attorney is finished with his manifestation. I guess he's going to be turning it in. I'm going to wait for a copy of this. And my understanding is that they're going to be pushing to give life to a court order that was created by the Bareilly Courthouse where we started off when he was signed off by the judge. What prison was this? BGMP. What prison was this? To be put into prison. And the reason he's going to push this is because he's been really caustic. And, the truth is, he should have been just, doing the right thing, putting his time in the detention. Yes, use his phone, talk to his girlfriend. I'd want to do that too. I understand it. Call his lawyer to have access to his phone, watch a movie. Yeah, if I was in that situation, I'd want the same. But his mistake was, because how cocky he is, and he has a low IQ, is that he continued to go on there and do live shows after he got the charges. So whose fault is that? Is that my charge? I mean, is that my fault? Tell me. Am I wrong? Is that my fault? Yes or no? I want to hear from my. Is it my fault? Give me a yes or no. So he's doing all this to himself, and that's the beauty of this whole thing, is that one of my jobs as a client is to provide evidence for my lawyer, because that's how it works, right? I just sit here. I don't have to sweat. I don't have to do really anything except record or make clips and whatever I need to do. Send it to my lawyer, send it to the right authorities. It just comes to me free. No sweat. No sweat off my nuts. Doc M. Yeah, you're the one. Wasn't he jealous of you or something? Doc M. He mentioned you. Bummer and Ricky tried to manipulate me too. I'm done with him. They tried to manipulate you. What did they try to do, dude? Best and brightest says, Doc M. Big regularly guy and Ricky supporter too. See the pattern? I do. Miss Heminger says Popeye started streaming you, Frank. Well, I'm glad I could help him out. That's okay. Why, you think I don't expect that? Got your drink ready there, Popeye, and your camels? Always glad to help you out, dude. Loser says Barry has so good in there. The other day he got upset because he couldn't get the Peacock app working. Amazing. Wow. Mama San's back. Hello, Mama San. Sir Frank, he said cell phone is his girlfriend's and contract in her name. Her providing cell phone to inmate in Philippines is considered contraband and illegal. Big problem for his girlfriend. Well, if we make it a problem, they might have actually took his phone away. You know, Shaw had more than one phone apparently, and she's letting him use that. And since they're both tied in on the same channel, he could do that. Yeah, that's a possibility. I think they actually did come and take his phone away. But then, unbeknownst to them, his girlfriend came over with another phone. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Heminger back. Frank, it's obvious that you fill a entertainment need for many of us. I was jonesing for your stream. Even Popeye was. I know. But Popeye's going to get his fill this morning. Glad to help you out there, Robert Clausen. Always glad to help you out. And by the way, Popeye, you're wrong on so many levels about all the bullshit you put out about me. I caught you. Well, everything is a lie, you say. I caught you on so many levels. So many levels. Then there's Barry, who admits that Frank would never do anything to a child. I don't think he would ever do that. Then he kind of reneges on that and goes back and said he's got a child on his lap and that he's doing different things to the kid. Well, make up your mind, Barry. Which is it? Same thing as when you got hit on the head. Was it a Red Horse bottle? Was it a stick? Was it a brick? So you didn't really make up your mind on that one. What was it that hit you in the head? He claims I had something to do with that. No, dude, let me tell you something. If I was actually there, you know. Then he's making fun of the fact that I work out a little bit. You know, I've gained a little muscle in the arms. Well, I did, actually. Nothing to write mom home about, but she's not alive anyway, so I can't write her. But I'm at least doing something, quality things with my time. He thinks because he got fat, he's a big bad mad man. If he sits on my chest, perhaps. But I'll beat the shit out of Frank anytime. I got more strength than him. I got more power than him. Okay. But his lips are moving. Barry likes to make himself look like some hero, some Superman. He's going to kick everybody's ass. And him and his uncle, what a team. His 8-foot tall uncle who goes around, if anybody looks at us wrong, he beats the shit out of them. He'll kill people. He said he'll kill everybody in the room. Did you hear all his stories on that? You know, maybe he missed his calling, man. I mean, let's be serious. You know, if he knew how to spell and everything else, maybe he could write. Maybe he could write some fiction stories or something. Do something with his life, what he's got left of it. You know, he could sure tell a story, so why not put it into writing in a book form or ebook or something? There you go. There you go. Changes my... I'm definitely not frail. Oh, fuck, I'm not frail. This is like a word they use, like I got red hair or something or whatever. I mean, it makes them feel good, you know. That's all that matters. I like them feeling good. They should feel good sometimes because they're so horrible on themselves, really. Yeah, I'm frail. And Barry still insists. Here we go again. He still insists that he's taller than me. He goes, I tower over my girlfriend, and she's like 5 5'2" or something. So I'm like 5'7", 5'8". Well, that's impossible, dude. Your girlfriend's probably barely 5 foot tall, or maybe 5 foot tall. That's all she is, from what I've seen in the videos. And he still claims that he's taller than me. And this has been the age-old thing going on here for a long time. This stupid height issue. Anybody that's ever seen me near Barry would tell you. And when he showed up in TGIF, people were making comments live on that broadcast. They can't believe the little munchkin he is. They all said it. I knew Barry was small, but I didn't know that he was like what they call a little hobgoblin. He was leaned over on the bar. Then when he got up, they seen him. And then they seen me standing up, and they seen how tall I was. Now, I'm not a tall man, by the way. I'm not a tall man. Average height these days probably is about 5'10". Actually, this generation, they're all growing tall. My generation, no. And Italian American, not all tall people. Not like Norwegians. They're all tall. All Vikings. No, I'm around 5'7". No taller than that. Never said I was a giant. I am what I am. It is what it is. I'm not going to lie about it. He just likes to make a fool out of himself. That's all. He's got a little man complex is what it is. And I think my viewers have shared that opinion to me also many times. The photo of Barry with her family, he was the smallest guy. I remember that photo of the family. He was the smallest guy there. Hector says, it's Judge Alberto Pita of the Cebu Municipal and Trial Court in Bareilles, the presiding judge in your case. I don't remember who the judge was. I'd have to have the paper in front of me, which I don't. But during the Bareilles case, the presiding judge did put, and I have it. I mean, if you force me to look it up later or something, but I have that. But it's true. They were ready to put him in prison, but something with immigration or something didn't cooperate or something, and it kind of went to the side. But it's already written. If it's written by a judge and signed by a judge, then we got a good chance here. Not only in that situation, but currently with his situation going on with his death threats, especially his death threats behind bars. This is what's going to get him. And I'm loving every minute of it. What did I tell you? I'm loving every minute of it. I don't have to do very much. That's the beauty of this whole thing. Let him put on his live streams until he can't anymore. Then talk about a nervous breakdown. Can you see him in that hot detention center without his phone and stuff to look at movies? That means they're going to also take away his other toys. Maybe not his ice maker or things like that, but he boasts about his, I got an ice maker. Well, good for you, Barry. You got an ice maker. I got a chest freezer and a refrigerator. Yeah, and a wash machine and air conditioning. Okay? And I got a real relationship. Top that. Best and brightest says, I saw that too at Stefan. Photo of Barry with the family. Yeah, you're referring to the photo of Barry and his family, right? Yeah, of course I seen that. He's got a little man complex. You know how I make that comparison of a Chihuahua? They got the biggest bark because they're like one of the smallest dogs. A big dog doesn't have to bark like that. They can just look at you and you know they're ominous. Don't fuck with me type of look, you know. But a little dog like him, little Chihuahua that he is, little Pekingese, he's got to have the big bark, but no bite. So anyway, as he says, please continue, Barry. Continue, man. I'm all for it. Go check out my, folks, I got 2 uploads on there ready this morning. One shorter than the other. They're not very long, really. Well, I was catching drips and drabs of his broadcast. told you I always document. Sometimes it's better that I copy it onto my show. I know it's never going to disappear. Just put it on private or put it away for proper future use. Keep it up, Barry. Let's see who's having the last laugh. I'm already laughing. Going on 23 months, Mr. Jordan. What did you do to deserve that? You did a lot. And the clock is ticking. Popeye's getting all geared up for the 2-year anniversary of Barry Lee Jordan. Well, gives Popeye something to do, Do you know why he doesn't go on camera? Because he's so shriveled looking, dehydrated looking. I heard he is suffering from some kind of disability. Oh, he makes a statement that, they're talking about my muscles or whatever on Popeye's show. And he goes, I went to visit Nico at the gym. He didn't go anywhere because he's never even met Nico. Well, Nico's working out. But the funny thing about that video of Nico, how many reps did he do on any of those exercises? I could do that too. I could say I did 5 hours on my treadmill. I could say I did 2 hours on the dumbbells. I could say I got 100,000 steps in today in walking. Say whatever I want. You either believe it or not. He goes, yeah, I went to visit Nico at the gym. He didn't go anywhere. They never even met. I know people find it hard to believe. They've never met. Never met. And Nico only lives like 40 minutes away from him or 40 miles, one or the other. It's either 40 minutes or 40 miles. I'm not sure what it was. You ain't going nowhere. And certainly there's no fucking gym. Popeye, face the reality, man. The soap operas on TV are off, man. You're not doing yourself any justice on here. This is the way you want to die? To be a hateful loser that you are? You're bitter, Popeye. It shows. Maybe you don't see yourself. Maybe you're like the other guy that doesn't see what he does. But we hear you, Popeye, Robert Clausen. We hear you. We could tell whether you're a bitter old man or not. I mean, you never talk about anything positive on your show at all. So why do a show? I know. The soap operas on TV are now expired. You need a new play toy. When has everybody ever heard anything positive that Popeye has ever said about anybody? I don't ever remember even hearing anything like that. Having a positive thought or a saying or statement about anybody on here. But I guess I give him a reason to live. So who says I'm not doing good on YouTube here? Good for the people. Certainly good for him. Wow. Well, I'm telling you, this guy is like, it's just fucking embarrassing. I don't know how this guy lives with himself. I'll be honest with you. I seriously don't. I really don't. He's a waste case. Your retirement is supposed to be, achieving the things that you wanted to achieve. And I've done that. But I don't see where Popeye has achieved anything except sitting around his fucking basement or something and putting shows and skits on about somebody else when he really should be taking care of his own situation and trying to live life other than going to a bingo hall with the blue-haired ladies and occasionally going to the casino. If you call that living life, man, then I guess he's probably don't know how to live his life up. He can't keep on reverting back to the round table in Subic Bay where he's getting his dick sucked. He probably thinks about that still to today. He sits there just whacking off, whacking away, whack, whack, whack. Man, he's done wore out his fucking pecker by this point. Got to probably clean cream to it every now and then because he's fucking peeled off all the goddamn skin on the surface. His dick is probably red as a fucking horny dog. Guess what I'm eating? Popeye. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Num 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 num. Mm-hmm. Mm. Blueberries, Popeye. Try it. You may like it. Get healthy, Popeye. Put down that camel. That bottle of scotch. Blueberries. Blueberries. I found my freedom on Blueberry Hill. Anyway, ladies and germs, go listen to my uploads right now, and it'll keep you occupied for another half hour or so. I know you got that time on your hands, so listen well, Popeye. Listen and learn. You know, Popeye, when you die, you're not going to just die. You're going to uggle to death.
All right. You guys got your rant on Popeye tonight. I have to give the guy credit, man. He sucks at cut downs, man. Sucks at cut downs. I think he's a little pissed because he's on hold departure. He can't leave the country. He's just basically fucked, you know? and I think the news he actually got was that you got another case on you, Frank. And I think I know who did it. I think Jay just fucking hammered him. But hey. And then last night crying, I'm a 70-year-old man. They want to take me away from my Gilda. Dude, you trying to tug on people's heartstrings is just not getting it, okay? You're going to be like that movie, The Departed. You're going to be departing, Frank. And when you depart, Frank, I'm going to pick you up at the airport. I'm going to put you in the trunk of my BMW, okay? I'm going to take you to Alligator Alley. I'm going to knock you over the fucking head. I'm going to feed you to the alligators. All right, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, Mike Luna, Steve 25901, Dr. Sniffs a lot, your boy Scooter. I like that one. That's a good one. Bobsy Channel, man. Don't worry, Bobsy. I will have a double shot espresso and a donut waiting for you, and a seat reserved at the blue haired lady bingo extravaganza. Oh yeah, we got Don C in the house tonight. Yeah, we got Don C. We got Stellar in the house, Beach Life 42. Who else we got? Yeah, yeah, the usual suspects are here tonight, and I welcome you all in. Okay, anytime, Barbsy, man, from one old fart to another. Us old farts, we got to take care of each other. We can't be like Frank. We can't be hateful. We can't be mean. You know, we can't extort Filipinas. Okay, now, Frank. Extortion in the Philippines is a felony. And you come up on live stream, you come up on live stream, and you said that there'll be an investigation and she's going to jail for everything she's doing unless she stops this shit right now. That's extortion. That is a felony in the Philippines. Okay. By the very definition, you also called this woman a concubine and said she gets paid for sex. Now, I'm not going to argue semantics with you, Frank. Here's the thing. When you call a woman a concubine and says she gets paid for sex, that's just the same as calling her a whore. Okay? Uh, you are berating and extorting a woman that is going to a doctor for PTSD. Dude, that in itself is cyberbullying, cyber liable. Okay? And if you think they ain't taking my simulcast and using that against you, you're crazy. See, it goes both ways, Frank. It's a two-way fucking street. Okay? It's a two-way street. The only difference is Shaw is not saying nothing. Shaw is just keeping quiet. She did her thing. She's in the driver's seat. You have no power over her, Frank. See, Frank, I'll tell you what a true narcissist is. One who always talks about himself. One who always looking for adulation. There's two qualities. You have both those qualities. Plus, you talk about yourself in the third person, which is, woo, that's a big one right there. Here's another narcissistic quality, Frank. When somebody disagrees with you, you get mad at them and you kick them off your live chat. And in life, when somebody disagrees with you, you get mad. Everything has to be always your way. And Frank, here's another quality of a narcissist. Narcissists love to control people. And last night you got out of control because you found out you have no control over Barry. Barry's going to come up and do live stream after fucking live stream. He's going to keep aggravating you like he said he's going to keep aggravating you, and you don't have control. That's what a narcissist is, Frank, and that is you. And usually, most narcissists are drug addled assholes who have anxiety and have to take Xanax, Benadryl, and Lexapro. You border on the cliche of what a narcissist is. Okay, you're a narcissist, and you're right there. You're a cliche narcissist. Period. And dude, I've seen you and Barry standing side by side, and I will tell you all, Barry is taller than Frank. Okay. And that's that. Okay. I just taken you through the numbers. And I got a little something here I want to show you guys that Ryan on Wi-Fi did. You're really going to enjoy this, okay?
Philippine airspace. Rodrigo Roa Duterte took off at 11:03 p.m. this evening and exited Philippine airspace. The plane is en route to The Hague in the Netherlands. The former president was earlier placed in government custody, allowing the former president to face charges of crimes against humanity in relation to his bloody war on drugs.
So happy you could join me.
Yes, Ryan on Wi-Fi strikes again. Frank and Gilda also have a page on Pornhub. Really? Well, good morning, yachts. How is one of my favorite vloggers doing today? Does height determine a person's value? Well, as a regular person who's been on this earth for a while, yachts, I would say no. Okay. But I think for Frank, his height determines his value. Okay. But I would just have to give you a cold stone no on that, yachts. Yachts. If it does, if you can't see the steering wheel. Hey, chicken choker, be nice, man. That ain't nothing a cushion can handle. But that reminds me of a lot of good jokes. But, Frank is so short, it doesn't matter that he's short because he can't drive. He doesn't have a license. He can't see. He's fucking blind. He never wears his glasses when he's supposed to, period. But ain't much I could do about that for him, man. I mean, the old man is set in his ways. It is what it is. Oh man, I tell you. So, last night he really went to town talking about yachts and crying how he's a 70-year-old man and he needs a break. I mean, well, that's all well and good. Yeah, you are a 70-year-old man, but the only thing I tell you, you need to shut the hell up. I already told Barry this morning, shut the hell up. But neither one of you has listened. You just keep getting yourself in deeper and deeper and deeper. And it's a shame. I feel really bad for you, dude. I really do. As for your insults, I just take them as insults. That's it. See? You don't see me getting excited. It's not going to fucking happen. Okay? Region 5 yacht's height is no but a Filipina hanging around with a foreigner 30 years older than her says a lot. Well, I'm not here to judge May-December relationships. And I guess Yachts took care of that for me before I could. Nice trigger finger, Yachts. But I want to thank everybody for coming in. Right. This is just a short monologue on what Frail is doing. And I tell you, the end is near for Frail. And don't forget, April 28th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have the Bamathon live stream, the 2-year anniversary of being locked up abroad. Yep, bummer, 684 days, man. Frank thinks eating frozen blueberries and sounding like a dog licking his balls is gonna make us jealous. Well, I really don't know. I really don't know. So, thanks for coming in, everybody. You have a good night, and I'll catch you on the flip side. This is Popeye One, man. I'm out of here.